Yeah, look at this. Across the street, it's $3.53 a gallon for diesel fuel. You come across the street to Mapco, it's $3.17 a gallon. You can save, what was that, 40 cents a gallon almost, driving across the street. There's it. Isn't that interesting? So of course, about the time I get to the park, the rain picks up. Can't see it, tell it real big because I'm in trees. Hoping that the awning up here is not being used. Shouldn't be since it's a rainy Tuesday. Yes, I'm in the red Chevy because my Dodge is back in the shop with transmission issues. All right. My plan is, once the rain lets up a little bit, throw a line up in this tree here and pull me a random wire over that tree and somewhere down into here, and I'll tie the antenna tuner off to the table and let it tune it from here up. And I'll just run me a radial or something out from it, and then run the coax down the table down to somewhere about here, and that'll get me away from that edge to where I'll be kindly in the dry. And I'll try to, I'm gonna work CW QRP. I have the MFJ 9200 as well as the Penntek TR-35. Both QRP radios are excellent little radios. And I have a battery with me that has more than enough output power to drive those radios for days. First things first, we got to get all this gear down there. All right, we got the gear down here. There's my logbook drying up. All right, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to get in this bag. I brought a bunch of stuff in here to get me a little further down the road. I brought my Begalli Traveler because I really like that key, just to tell you the truth. There's my antenna. That's the one I'm going to use today. Let's see, what else have I got in here? There's another piece of wire. I think that one's longer. I can't tell. Yeah, this has got the ground radials mixed in with it, I think. Maybe that's the radials. I don't know. And then there's this wire, which is even longer. I think that's a 40 meter random wire. I think I'm going to use this one. All right. And then there's the battery I'm going to use. Yeah, 8 amp hour, I think. Yeah, 8 amp hour. There's my common mode choke, which, as well as my memory keyer that I'll use. And then this stuff is for the TR-35. That's my S meter I built. And then this is the battery pack. Let's see what the voltage on it is. 13.2. And it has speakers and it has a power port to plug other stuff in. That battery's still hot enough to use. I changed my mind. I have found a 41-foot random wire that I made ages ago, and then I've got some radials for it that I'm going to string up. I don't think the sizing on them is right anymore. I think I've cut them and used them for things. But I'm going to use this random wire. I have the Elecraft T1 antenna tuner in that kit. That's how I'm going to tune it. And then I'll coax it down the table with a piece of coax. And there's my throw weight. It's on the outline branch, but I think it'll work just fine if I pull the base line that way. And I need to tie off this end of the radiator. I made this antenna up a long time ago, but if you'll notice, at the back of it, I have, this is where it connects to the tuner. I have a piece of cord permanently attached to it. This is so I can tie it off and then string out this end up in the tree. All right, we need the antenna tuner now. Here it is. Okay, this thing is a wonderful marvel of modern engineering. The guys over at Elecraft done an amazing job. You store the battery in it, turn around backwards, of course, so it don't run the battery down when you're not using it. Says so in the instructions. All right, let's get this hooked up. And I finally got it all set up on the table. I have the MFJ 9200 transceiver with the 20 meter module in it. I lost my power cord. Fortunately, I had this backup one in my possibles bag that allowed me to connect it and get it powered up. I have both sizes, one soldered into the same cable. So if you've got the, there's two different size center pins. This is one, this is the other. And then of course, I got my Begalli Traveler, my Ham Gadgets Pico Keyer, because it's got my POTA memories in it. Down there is where the antenna tuner lives now. Of course, and I'm wearing headphones because this radio doesn't have an external speaker of any kind. Because of that, I can't let you hear the QSOs. I've messed around with a couple of things that I brought with me, and nothing will bring out the audio enough to be able to hear it. Sorry, I didn't think of that. So we'll do what we can. I can change over to the Penntek TR-35, and its external speaker does work loud enough for you guys to hear it. So I'm gonna use this radio a little while because I really enjoy playing with it. And then I'm gonna switch over to that one because that one's got easier band changes. I can go to 17 meters on it with just the click of a button, to where I gotta change a module in this little guy to do it. But, yep, let me get some contacts on 20 and then we'll move over to that radio. That was Utah. Florida. Pennsylvania. Another Florida. I'm running the Penntek TR-35. I've got, it's a power box, but it has an external speaker in it. That's what I'm using it for today. And then I'm powering out of it. My little S meter I've built actually has to have 12 volt supply voltage to make it work. And it works on the audio circuit. So out of the radio's audio, I feed it, and then out of it, I feed back to the speakers in this thing, because I didn't have a box big enough to combine them in. That's why that S meter isn't in this box. It just wouldn't fit, because I added the voltmeter so I could see, because there's a battery in that box too. But this little setup with the Pico Keyer and the Begalli Traveler and then this 8 amp hour battery is a potent little QRP setup that packs down really small, and it's a lot of fun. It's Morse code only, you know, and CW machines are very compact usually, and this one does 4 bands. I have a bunch of band modules thanks to my friend Roger, KG4WBI, to the 9200, but you have to literally take it apart to change them. It's M2 silver screws, you pull that off, then it comes apart, and you can change the band module inside of it. And I didn't bring the other modules. Plus, I haven't peaked them for this particular radio. So, I've got to get all that done for that one. And then I want to get a Pelican case I can put all of that in to protect it. Because that's kind of collectible now because MFJ is defunct. And the TR-35 is out of production. So both of these radios you can only buy secondhand now. But I've had a good run so far. I got 24 calls logged with 1 dupe that I can see. But I just got to have 10 to have a successful activation. So even with the wet weather today, we're still running strong. The Elecraft T1 is a wonderful tuner, mainly because once it tunes, it has latching relays that doesn't use any current. It's like it basically shuts off. So your batteries last essentially forever, as long as you don't forget to turn them around when you're done. And yeah, the antenna's running up to that tree. It's almost to the tree branch. So the antenna's not touching anything except for the water that's running down it. And fortunately, the water will get to that knot and drip off. It won't run into the antenna tuner. This is my temporary plan. As long as it doesn't get too extreme, I'll just cover it up, keep the rain off of it, and then once the rain blows over, I'll uncover it and go back to operating. My antenna tuner's not protected. Let me do something about it. There, Ziploc bag, problem solved. breaking down the radio isn't near as glamorous as setting it up. So there's no real big like reason to film it and share it. No one's going to want to watch me taking down and rolling up an antenna. I appreciate y'all coming along. And this is what it's been like to do a Parks on the Air activation with a QRP radio or two and Morse code only. It's kind of for me, it's a solitary experience. You don't have to do a lot of like interacting. So I'm here by myself. A car just rolled in. They probably parked over there so they could play frisbee golf. So no, they turned around and left. They didn't want to fool with the rope wet. But at the end of the day, this is a really fun activity for me, and I really enjoy getting out here and doing it. So until next time, get your radio out and go make some contacts with it or something, you know. Do something. Get on the air. Do something. Build an antenna. I don't care. Something interesting. And till then, we'll see you next time. 73.